Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. You've often heard it said, don't chase the squirrels. Let me know your experience in squirrel chasing in the comment section below, but this first drop of 2 is more of a cautionary tale of what happens when you chase squirrels. So this first drop is a conquest match on Terra Firma. I am in my Grasshopper, and as I finish off the cap point, I move in to stick with my group because there's a lot of enemies circling around Theta, and looky over there. Very target-rich environment out towards Gulf 7. Lots of missiles, a couple of units in close here, and we're just going to bob and weave and use our jump jets and see what kind of work we can get done while we take some PSA fire. That's not cool. There's just so many of them grouped up in that Gulf 7, Gulf 6. I could almost blind fire and guarantee to hit something in that pack at Gulf 7. Now my team has a firing line roughly across Theta, and it looks like the enemy is in no hurry to push our position. But about this time is when I notice there are 2 units coming into our backfield. There was a light earlier, and now he is joined by an assault. In fact, it's an executioner. He's trying to get up those ramps and take my cap point. Gosh darn it. I worked too hard to capture that. You will not have it. So we're laying down some fire, getting some more damage on that executioner. I don't know, it seems like he's eating a lot of my shots. And then there's his light friend, the Arctic cheetah, who has a hurt leg. Well, now he's a hurt arm, not that that matters on a cheetah. And I'm going to go up and challenge him. And as I come up over the top here, I'm going to put out my arty strike on the cap point. Remember, if you do damage to a capping mech, it stops their cap for 5 seconds. So the arty strike does a little bit of damage. I know that because the color band up there went from blue, red to white. White means that he is not capping. Do a couple of quick jump shots. There's his leg. He's open CT. Coming around. Yeah, doing a little peeking, poking at him. He's peeking and poking back. I don't know. I just can't seem to get a kill shot on that center torso. Not only that, but now I've managed to fall off the upper ramp. Well, okay. So we'll go around here to the right and keeping an eye on him as much as possible. I also want to go into pursuit on that executioner. I don't want him to get away. He was kind of dangerous with all those SRMs. My teammate picks up the kill on the Arctic cheetah, and now we're looking for Waldo. Wherever he went, I'm not sure. Now I see an assault ahead of me. Maybe the assault managed to run into him and take him out. Let's go with that. So I'm going to swing back towards the center to rejoin my teammates. And this is why you shouldn't go after squirrels too heavily, because while I was goofing around with the Arctic cheetah, the executioner went off into the distance. I don't know if a teammate got him or not, but the bigger story is my teammates in the center were getting trounced. And guys, that's why you don't chase after the squirrels, because they distract you long enough for bad things to happen elsewhere on the battlefield. Now they're pushing in. We went up high, took the left torso off this Arctic wolf. He's coming at us full bore. And is it just me, or does it look like he's eating a lot of damage? I've alphaed him, and his paper doll doesn't seem to be reflecting. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're running into this, but it seems to be happening quite a bit lately. And here come more units, including, is that an executioner? That's the one that we lost sight of. So see, squirrel chasing, bad. Not only did the executioner escape, but we're losing this one badly. We do manage to finally kill the executioner, but we do the tactical shutdown to get the job done, and that's when we're taken out by the enemy Shadowhawk. So we're going to chalk this one up as a pretty bad lose. And switching over to the end screen, we wind up with 1 kill, 4 assists, 529 damage done. Switching over to our next drop, this one's got us playing Domination Mode on Canyon Network, and as this drop plays out in the background, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the Hero Mech review, because this is the Grasshopper Mjolnir. And if I butchered the enunciation, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments below. But in the meantime, let's start where we always start our reviews, and that's with a fresh, brand new mech. So taking a look at it, there is a lot to like. I mean, the outer appearance is absolutely stunning with the artwork on it, and it has some great quirks under the hood waiting for you, on top of the fact that this Grasshopper is sporting a Gauss rifle in the left arm. Now, looking at the quirks real quickly, we've got +1 medium pulse heat scale limit. In other words, you can fire one more before you get into ghost heat. It has a -30% UAC jam chance. It has laser duration and cooldown quirks of -10% each, and it has some very hefty armor quirks to help its survivability on the battlefield. All in all, a great little package. As far as the stock build and loadout, a quick look under the hood shows us we have a PPC in the right arm, Gauss rifle in the left arm, 1 large laser, 2 medium lasers, XL engine 280, jump jets, top speed 64.8 kph, heat scale rating of 1.3, and a 44 alpha. So not the biggest damage output, but a very capable long-range fire support mech nonetheless. Now, for those of you very astute observers who have been paying attention to the bottom right corner of the screen through these drops, you're looking at it going, wait a second, Juan, your build looks nothing like the stock loadout, and that's because my build goes something like this. I went with 2 ER large lasers, 5 medium lasers, switched out the XL to go a light 300 engine, still have my jump jets, was able to put in a targeting computer to boot, and a heavy machine gun instead of the Gauss rifle. We still retain the 64.8 kph. Our heat management gets slightly better at 1.35. Our alpha jumps up to 50.5 damage. Now, many of you are asking, why on earth would you butcher the mech to that extent? And, well, that kind of leads us into the positives and the minuses of this mech. So the good, bad, and the ugly with this mech, what you can expect if you pick this up. Some of the good things that I really like about this mech is the fact that all the Grasshoppers have those jump jets. I love that for maneuverability and the opportunities it gives you for going vertical. I also like the fact that this mech changes it up and puts a Gauss rifle into what typically tends to be a laser vomit type carrier. It's something new, fresh, and different. What I don't like about this, and guys, you got to pay attention to this, is this mech has that Inner Sphere XL engine. Just be very careful with that on the battlefield, because if you lose one torso, your drop is over. Another thing that I'm not really crazy about is the weapon mounts and where they are. They tend to bulk up center line of the mech at waist height, and that means you're exposing more and more of your mech to be able to bring those weapon systems online. Now, on a personal note, that Gauss rifle in the right arm, I struggled with it. I struggled with all of them, actually, because if you're moving when you fire, you get some really squirrely ballistic flight patterns and characteristics when they're in the right arm. It's less noticeable on the torso mounts, but that right arm seems to exaggerate all of that. In the future, I'm going to experiment with other builds, maybe throw in a UAC or something and play around with those medium pulses just to see what else I can squeeze out of this chassis. But right here, right now, this works. And guys, if you go back and take a look at my build, I purposely staggered the weapon systems the way I did, especially in the torsos, and that's what's getting my large lasers higher up. They're actually mounted now just below cockpit level instead of waist level, and you'll notice that in my firing patterns when you compare the large lasers to the medium lasers. And a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the content thus far, make sure you hit the subscribe and like buttons, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my future content. And guys, I really appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed to the channel, helping this channel grow and getting this type of content out to more and more pilots and bringing them into the game. Now, jumping back into the action on this match, things are really, really interesting. At one point, the enemy was up by 2 kills, still up by 2 kills. We're trading back and forth here a little bit, but the battlefield has shrunk immensely, and the enemy just screwed up royally. They have fallen into the low ground at Delta 4 while we hold the high ground. You've heard me say it time and time again, guys. Bad place to be. It's a choke point, and you become fish in the barrel. So there's our first kill of the match. Now we're going to line up for our second kill of the match in short order, and they are still stuck in that low ground. Now they're trying to push up the ramp on the left-hand side to come up out of the Delta 4 low ground, but before they can, we managed to get our third kill of the match with that beautiful jump shot. And now I'm going to reverse switch back into the center because they're trying to come up the ramp. I want to push them back down and hold them in the low ground as much as possible. The Shadowcat has a weak center torso. Let's see if we can do some more damage to him as he tries to get up and out of the low ground. He's fighting with one of my other teammates in the low ground, and that's when this Orion walks through thinking he's going to get back shots on my little light friend. And that's not going to work for him. We're going to get some good shots in on him, but the build is running quite spicy, so we do the tactical shutdown because, yeah, you know, why not? I don't think it would be one of my videos if I didn't do a tactical shutdown. We managed to take that left torso off of him, and he is under pressure, but it has given the Shadowcat time to get into our back, and now we do a second tactical shutdown. Yes, it's a bit spicy build for brawling, but hey, what are you going to do? So let's see if we can focus this guy out, but no, he gets to us before we can recover. And the score now is 11-10. It's just the Shadowcat versus our 2 units. The Flea is in hot pursuit, and that wounded Shadowcat should be very susceptible to the Flea's laser fire if we can just get an eye on him. And he's got support, so my teammates are sticking together, and that's when he peeks up out of the low ground again. He's trying to leverage those jump jets to be able to get shots off and fall back into cover, but this is where the jig is up because he is outnumbered 2-1, and his mech is very, very damaged. The Flea unfortunately loses a leg, and that is a bad time to lose a leg. Shadowcat is trying to focus and finish him off, but as he does so, he's leaving himself open to our teammate. Shadowcat moves off to engage the other mech. I think he thinks he can swing back and take the Flea out at will since the Flea is legged, but the Flea still has all of his weapon systems, and he's looking for some revenge on the Shadowcat that is heavily damaged. And here we go. The little Flea manages to take the leg and punch through center torso. So we walk away with a victory on this one, and pulling up our end screen, we wind up with 3 kills, 5 assists, 763 damage done.